No, it is the Jets. Jets.
Agree. Raiders.
Because at the end of this season, one, if not both of them, will be solidly retired.
I like some apple turnovers.
Yeah.
Those cherry turnovers.
Disagree?
You are listening to the Picklemores podcast with your hosts, Luke and Corey. That's right, folks. You are listening to the Picklemores podcast. My name is Corey.
I'm Luke.
And you are listening to the Picklemores podcast. Of course you know this. And if you know this, then you've heard us say this before. So why aren't you doing it? Go and follow us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, the Instagram. Make sure you check out our Facebook group, Pick'em Warriors, where you can go ahead and check out all of our fun little posters, memes. There's polls. If you want to just post something yourself and talk some smack about the picks that we're making really badly on my behalf this week, and actually pretty darn good on your behalf this week.
Well, I was going to say you need to hold off a little bit on saying, you say it to everybody all the time, but there could be new listeners. And these listeners are listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, even YouTube at this point. They could have knocked around and found us, and that is why they're listening. And so we've got to let them know all the stuff right up front about pick'emwars.com, like going to pick'emwars.com and signing up for a free account and making real money.
That's right. Real money for free. Just make your picks, and hey, if you do it right, you walk away with a bunch of money, and you'll hear all about who made money this week later on the program.
Now, I didn't make any money. However,
True.
If y'all were listening to us last week, your boy Luke here took 67% of his picks, and
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
And
so
we happened to swap weeks because I got in the 30s. It was not great.
No, mine wasn't great last week, but hey, it's up and down, and you guys can follow and fade, or maybe pick like Corey's name on the odd numbered weeks and Luke's name on the even number weeks, and listen to it and follow those. It doesn't matter how you do it.
I'd like to see some in-depth analysis on this. So yeah, go ahead and check us out everywhere you can.
Absolutely.
Pick'emwars.com.
Yes.
We are talking football. We're talking football picks for week 8 of the NFL, as a matter of fact.
We are. It's getting.
And what is going on?
We're getting there, man. This is the penultimate game before the midway point of the season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, the time between is the midway point of the season. It would be
it'd be week 9.
8.5 game. Yeah. Or no. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
18 weeks.
It's been a long day. I've been just crushed by what happened in football last week. So much crap.
Hey, you know what? Jets are winning. The Giants are winning.
Yeah.
The Bills are winning. New York is just a very, very happy place to be right now. And I hope they can, revel in that as long as they possibly can. I don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers on his farewell tour, because that's what this is becoming.
Not a lot. If he's looking for another ring, he may want to try to get traded.
Same thing with Tom. Tom and Aaron, I think, are fighting for the door, because at the end of this season, one, if not both of them, will be solidly retired.
I honestly hope it's both, and here's why. Because there's a lot of young quarterbacks that need a shot. And they're just sitting there making their money and taking up a spot.
Yeah, Jordan Love. Jordan Love has been on the bench for the past 2 years. 2-3 years for Green Bay. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I get sitting a rookie your first year, put him on the bench, let him play with the veteran, but I don't I don't get it when celebrities like that status like that says, well, Aaron Rodgers can still play. Well, yeah, maybe, but there's another guy. Split the work. They're trying to tell you something when they use a first-round draft pick for a quarterback. The team is trying to tell you something.
Yes, they are. But you know what? Let's stop talking about that team.
Anyway, yeah.
Because we got some other teams to start with today.
Yes, we do. Let's get her off.
Go ahead, sir.
And in this land that we call football, up first on the docket, we're opening up strong. The Carolina Panthers are traveling to the Atlanta Falcons, take on Marcus Mariota. And the Atlanta Falcons are 5-point favorites at home.
Dun, dun.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that seems okay, like an okay assessment. And the fact that Carolina beat Tampa Bay by way too much, 18 points.
Yeah.
But also, Atlanta put 17 points up against the Bengals, but also lost to them by 30. It was 35-17.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Marcus Mariota is I think we're seeing more of he's a decent quarterback as he's progressing through the season.
Oh, yeah. And last week especially, we saw Joe Burrow just say, no, we're going back to that whole Super Bowl bound.
Oh yeah, they
feeling.
are. Yeah, I think
let's do this.
Cincinnati's got the ship righted, and they're sailing the seas right now. They're doing pretty well, right. But Atlanta's not doing bad.
No, they got a winning record.
And Carolina, is it a testament to how good Carolina can be and how well they can utilize that staff? Or is it more of a testament to Tom Brady is Dunzos and Tampa Bay doesn't have a team?
Yeah. The way I'm seeing this game is, do not think that this game is going to go anything like either of these teams' games last week. Not even close. This is going to be a lot closer. I think 5 is a little much. So what I'm going to say is, I think the Falcons are going to win this game. But
I do, yeah.
I think it's going to be more by a field goal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because Carolina's you got to imagine their team right now is riding a pretty good high. They just beat Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh yeah, even if they're not playing well at all, it still feels good to beat Tom Brady.
Right, and you're talking about they just beat the division rival. Now they're going into another division rival's house, and they are going to have that energy. Atlanta, man, he can't knock you for putting 17 up on Cincinnati, but
can't.
Come on.
That 17 came entirely in the second quarter. Not a single other point was scored in any other quarter by the Falcons last week.
See, and that just says that it's taken them a lot of time to warm up, too. We're probably going to see a pretty close game, and it'll probably be in the fourth quarter as well.
Yep. But I say Falcons all day.
That's what I'm saying is Falcons -5. You can go there.
But no, I'm saying Falcons are going to win all day. Sorry, I meant to say I agree to disagree. I think that the Panthers are going to bust that spread.
Disagree?
Last week on Pick'emwars.com, there was a UFC contest for October 22nd. 3 people won cash money. In third place, it's MCM73 with $60. In second place, it's Charco with $120. And in first place, it's Chris_Dutton_21 taking home a nice $420. And our next stop, we have the Bears heading into Cowboy country. That's right, Dallas at home with a -9.5.
Wow.
Now, look, let's not get too crazy here about what the Bears did last week.
Oh,
Okay, look, they took down the Patriots with Mac Jones being back. I'm not going to pretend the Pats have been any good this season.
oh my goodness. And that game, listening to that game, my jaw literally hit the floor as I'm listening to it and going, man, Mac Jones just threw another interception. Oh, shoot. Midway through the game, they're going to put in Bailey Zappi? Holy
Yeah.
crap. Bailey Zappi just scored back-to-back touchdowns that fast? I mean, I was like on the edge of my seat, you know?
Yeah, crazy game.
Unfortunately-
A crazy game, but I'm just going to say this. The Cowboys are a better defense than the Bears are used to facing this
Yes.
season. So it's not like we're going to see that. We're not going to see a whole lot of Fields doing crazy good stuff.
I mean, you've got there was what two very talented players, Junon being one of them on the defense for the Patriots, but they don't have really an entire defensive scheme laid out. It's just these bright stars.
Yeah.
Dallas, on the other hand, Dallas has a awesome secondary.
Oh, yeah.
Their
Here's-
cornerbacks are tight.
Here's their hit list: the Bengals, Giants, Rams, Commanders, and Lions beat all of them. Mm-hmm. And then also we're very competitive against the Eagles, who are still as yet undefeated.
Hey, so was Detroit.
Yeah. So look, the Bears don't stand a chance. They're going to get picked apart.
Yes, they are. I am going to make a little bit of a cushion here. Take my shaver
Ooh, good choice.
with Dallas -9.5. We're going to bring that down to -2.5.
Good choice. You could see Justin Fields get a couple real dingers in there.
True.
You know, he's got the ability, but has yet to manifest it with the team.
I think we will, especially in the NFC North scheme of things right now. You've got Detroit and Green Bay flailing for last place. Minnesota's kind of sneaky good right now, but Chicago's on their way up. I think they see a little opportunity, and the rest of the games this season, we're going to see what they can do with it, but not this week.
Yeah. So Cowboys with a shave-up. Know your power-ups.
Get the spread moved in your favor. Use the shaver pick. And when you do, you will add 7 points to your pick. For example, if we got the Packers -9.5 going to Tennessee, then you could use your shaver to make it -2.5. Get it?
Up next on the docket, hey, Corey, it's spooky season.
Oh, it is.
Did you knew that?
I do. It's almost time for Hallowicked.
Yes, we're going to be seeing a lot of land dolphins heading to Ford Field, take on the boys. They're number one in all of our hearts, the Detroit Lions.
That's right.
And the Miami Dolphins now. Lions are 3-point dogs at home, which, you know what? I can get down on,
Yeah.
especially with Miami right now.
It makes sense. Look, I absolutely love my Lions, man. And everyone likes to joke, it's hard to be a dedicated fan. And, they just seem to be in a week-to-week injury funk.
Not only an injury funk, but the coaching seems to be falling off.
Yeah. Why can't we find a coherent coaching team? A consistent, coherent coaching team.
And what happened? Like, what's the difference between the first 4 weeks of this season and these last 4 weeks that we've got? Or 3 weeks, I'm sorry. And this one coming up. So the first 4 weeks, the record the team was better than the record that it held.
Yeah, they were putting up more points than any team.
And they were doing awesome.
And it was a great time, even if they were losing almost all the games, But hey, yeah,
But
it took a turn, and we're in the middle of it right now. In the middle of that turn, it does not. It feels like a wide turn.
That's coaching too. That's not injuries. Injuries played a part of that, but that's not all injuries. That is the coaching staff. Somehow that fell off. Where'd the schemes go from the first 3 weeks? Bring those back.
Well, and now we got a Dolphins team that is whole again for the most part.
They are few little spots on defense, but Tua didn't do what we thought. I didn't think that he was going to do. I thought he was going to do better than what he
last
did
week?
last week.
Okay.
Because after that injury and clearing and being fine, it seemed he got out there and just wasn't really himself. He threw a couple botched passes.
You got a couple of weeks off for some pretty wicked stuff. Some pretty wicked stuff,
Okay.
Like a couple of close call situations, and hey, you're gonna be a little bit quote unquote rusty.
Yeah, you are, and actually, that's kind of my worry. Is we play these banged up teams in Detroit, and everybody looks at it on paper through the week, and they go, "Man, that team's banged up," or "That team's just now getting back." And look what they did last week; they didn't do much. The Lions have a shot at this. Trust me, the Lions have a way of hearing that.
Maybe if they get a lamp and they rub it and a genie comes out and grants them 3 wishes. But
Even then,
I can't see Tua and Waddle and all them tearing through the defense.
Tell you what those 3 wishes would be. It would be pay Calvin Johnson, remove the Bobby Lane curse, and bring back Wayne Fonts. That would be the 3 wishes. Dig Wayne Fonts up and recreate him, because we need a team that can win with its coaching.
Okay.
And right now we're just too hurt. I gotta say Dolphins -3 on this one. I'm sorry.
I also say Dolphins -3. But you know what? The Lions have a way of just really even smacking you when you're not behind them. And I'm going to use my eraser on this one just because I disavow.
I'm not. Fins up.
Know your power-ups. If you're completely unsure on who's going to win a contest, you should use your eraser. It takes the game out of the equation entirely and gives more weight to your other picks. My fellow Americans, the next game we're discussing for the Pick-a-Moors podcast is the Arizona Cardinals facing the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings favored -3.5. And I think they got this one backwards.
Possibly not. You're talking, I mean, it's not an open weather stadium, but it's getting cold in Minnesota. It's starting to snow. Everything, the Arizona Cardinals really aren't used to it. I mean, yeah, Kyler Murray's been out there doing his thing, but on the season, Kirk Cousins actually has 2 more touchdowns than he does.
He also likes to do some turnovers.
Truth.
Likes him some apple turnovers.
Yeah.
Some of those cherry turnovers.
He's got 5 of them on the season.
Yes, he does.
Just for interceptions.
Yeah. It's definitely not the top, but I mean, he likes to give them away every once in a while. Sometimes bad moments. But yeah, I can see the Cards honestly winning this one outright. Kyler Murray, since with DeAndre Hopkins on the field, just seems to have a little bit more fire in him.
Well, I mean, yeah.
He brings that excitement that was missing for all those weeks he was suspended.
And you can talk about Kyler Murray having like the strength of schedule that they've had.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they're at 3-4. They've been doing okay. Minnesota, sneaky good. They're 5-1.
Yeah,
5-1 and fresh on a bye.
It bites me a lot when I pick against Minnesota, and I guess it's just a personal bias. But I'm going to stick with my personal bias and say Cardinals.
Yeah,
it's 3.5. I mean, for the Cardinals, against the Cardinals. I think Kyler can win it.
You know what? I just think that Minnesota's season opening, I think Dalvin Cook's doing really well. James Conner was limited again today in practice. We don't know how that running back situation is going to favor out in Arizona, but we know that Dalvin Cook is on pace to have a really good season. Kirk Cousins is doing his thing out there slinging the ball. They're at home.
Well, you can't forget that the Cards' defense has also been getting better and better the past 3 games.
True, but
actually finally clicking really well, tracking, following everything they're supposed to do. And I just think it's going to be too much, man.
I don't know, man. I'm going Minnesota. I have to, man. I have to for picks purposes.
Disagree.
Up next on the docket, we've got the Las Vegas, hold on, Raiders.
Yeah, last time I did that, I hurt myself, so I'm not going to do it.
They're going to get themselves a little bit of gumbo because it is gumbo season.
It is gumbo season.
The weather do get chilly down there in Louisiana, so you're probably looking at about a nice 60-degree day and probably about 50 degrees at night. And so that's perfect for some nice hot gumbo down there on Bourbon Street. They're going to take on the Saints, and the Saints are 2-point underdogs at home.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it, too. And
Their defense is awful.
honestly, I almost think it's a little too low. Because right now, the Saints still haven't had their bye. The Raiders have at least had their bye.
Yeah, and, Josh Jacobs is going to cut through the defense like it's cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's going to be a sad showing, honestly. It's probably going to be low scoring.
There just isn't much in New Orleans right now. There really isn't.
Yeah. And there's not much in Vegas either, but it's just a matter of, who's kind of better.
Right. You're looking at 2 2-win teams. One's going to be a 3-win team by the end of the week. And I got to think that Derek Carr can definitely pull it out. I mean, when you start Andy Dalton, I don't like Andy Dalton anyway. I really have never I've never liked his playing style. I think he's overhyped. I think he's under under scrutinized. I think they just let him get a pass. That's what I've been trying to say.
Nice grab, by the way, with that word. And agree. Raiders.
Last week on Pick'emWars.com, they hosted a college football contest for Week 8, and that netted a whole bunch of winners. 24 people all took home $13.11 in a tie for third. All by his lonesome in second place was Difficult Dr. 6, took home $26.23, and in a tie for first place, each one taking home $91.80, we had JK67, JJCCJJ, Cannon Crushers, RD Tullius 28, and Miro Man.
Look, they're over the horizon. It's the next game. Oh, it's the Patriots heading over to New Jersey to
MetLife Stadium
for facing off with the New York Jets.
It's not a far ride to East Rutherford.
Not really, but the Patriots are favored 1.5.
Good
going
night.
into the Jets' home after getting beat by the Bears.
After getting stomped by the Bears, couldn't do nothing.
They were more beaten by their turnovers than anything.
No, I mean, okay, in a sense, yes, that was a problem.
Telling me no.
That was a problem for the game, but it seems that midway through the game, Mac Jones throws 2 interceptions. You say, you know what, Mac? It was fun having you around. We've got this new toy over here named Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi comes out, and they literally playbook him, boom, back-to-back touchdowns. They playbook it. The scheme is there, okay? We didn't see another point scored out of the Patriots in the entire rest of the game after that. Okay. That's the whole second half. They did not score a single point.
And to be fair, the Jets are looking fantastic.
Yes,
I mean they've been doing really well, but in a sense, we do have kind of a mirror match because they have a similar strengths and similar weaknesses. But there's one thing that's really just going to be a shadow over this game, and that's Breece Hall.
Yeah,
the loss of Breece Hall for the season is a hard hit.
That kid was on his way.
Yeah, and I dare to say that it might be the edge. That could push this the other way to make the Patriots actually get that 1.5 win.
See, I don't think that. I can't think that. The Jets are actually a very well-rounded team, even though a lot of people are like, you hear a lot of the pundits that are like, oh, is Zach Wilson good? can Zach Wilson still perform? Is he a bust rookie? Or, in his second year, are we finding out that he wasn't as great as we thought? Well,
I just don't think they have the time to shift shift the right people into the right places to make up for Brees Hall
Michael Carter
right now. Are they one more week? Yes.
Michael Carter is actually ready to go and has had good performances this season against when Brees Hall went out. So Carter has been doing a pretty good job, but then they turn around and go grab James Robinson from Jacksonville yesterday.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not gonna beat around the bush, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the Patriots.
No, it is the Jets. Jets. Up next on the spooky docket, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to get spooky for them because they are going into Philly's house to take on the Eagles, and the Eagles, no surprise, are 10.5-point favorites at home.
Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Have you ever seen those videos where an eagle swoops in and grabs an animal and just flies off? Mm-hmm. And it's going to be like that. But at the end, instead of just flying off, the eagle's going to drop that animal from a few hundred feet or meters in the air. That is.
Yeah.
And we're just going to see a Steeler splat.
Yeah, exactly, man.
10.5 is honestly a little not generous enough.
This is funny. This actually literally puts a smile on my face. According to ESPN analytics right now, for the matchup predictor, Philadelphia is 85.7% likely to win this game.
Well, yeah.
I didn't
even say they're 85.7% likely to hit that spread of 10.5.
I mean, holy cow. When you're looking at a quarterback like Mitchell Trubisky, who, don't get me wrong, he's come into his own over the past couple weeks, and it was a bright, shining moment to watch him against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pull that one out.
That was good.
You're going up against Jalen Hurts. This is the offensive MVP.
There's no reason to go on with this. I mean, come on. This is easy. They're basically, Steelers are basically walking in here and saying guilty.
Yeah.
Into this courtroom.
I'm telling you, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. That's a 10.5-point go. And I'm going to use my picks boost.
Ooh, I'm going to double it.
Oh?
We got a picks boost and a doubler.
Go Eagles.
I really hope this doesn't backfire on us.
Yeah, me too.
Know your power-ups.
On a picks boost, on Spread Contest, you'll turn one loss into a win. And if you score perfectly, they'll add $100 to your winnings.
And to your left, you'll see the Tennessee Titans heading on down to the Texans in Houston. The Titans are favored 1.5 on this one. And I'll be the first to admit that I read last week's Titans-Colts game all wrong. I said that it was going to be like the revenge game that the Colts had on the Jaguars the week before. It was not. It was definitely not that. I ignored a legitimate win streak by Tennessee and let the specter of last year's Jonathan Taylor take the wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to you.
All right. Well, the Titans are 4-2. They're sneaky good. They're just kind of quietly running through the AFC. They're doing all right. So,
now there's a chance they won't have Tannehill this week.
There is a chance that they won't have Tannehill. However, I think with Derrick Henry coming up right now and Robert Woods is doing his thing, so I don't think they're going to really have much to worry about against, Daddy Longneck, Davis Mills.
But hey, we'll see. We'll see if Jonathan Taylor starts coming out of the shell a little bit more. He did last week a little bit. He actually scored the most points on my fantasy football team.
Well, hopefully.
It was a sad week, y'all.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as leading rushers for Houston goes, you've got Pierce.
Oh, Pierce.
Pierce is running out here with 3 touchdowns on the
Go
season.
get some beers, Pierce.
Not terrible, but I mean, Davis Mills just doesn't have any other weapons to throw to. He doesn't really have anything going on. That's one of the reasons why they're 1-4. That and their defense is just absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
And half of their coaching, I swear to God, these guys are like throwing dirt in a sandbox,
Yeah.
or tossing darts at a wall just to be like, yeah, use that play. That'll work.
Yeah, no question. Calling it them Titans.
Yeah, that's the Titans.
More than 1.5. You guys are insane.
Absolutely.
Last week on Pick'emores.com in the NFL Week 7 contest, there were a total of 24 cash money winners. But guess what? Only one person made it out on top in first place. It's Dynamic #6, taking home $175. If you want to hear your name on this podcast as a cash money winner, you go to www.pick'emores.com now. Sign up with your email, make your picks for free, and get that money.
Up next on the docket, we've got the Washington Commanders. I do not like that name, so I'm going to say it as snarkily as possible every single time.
Washington football team, and have a football team as your mascot, you idiots.
Like just a giant mascot, just a blob of team members and helmets.
Just a whole team.
Just
on
a
the
real
field.
team?
Just a whole other team on the sidelines.
The second team mascot.
Yeah, I don't think they'd all fit on the sidelines, so put them in put them somewhere. We'll figure it out.
Just put them anywhere. Hey, they're going to Indianapolis to be exact, take on the Colts, and the Colts are 3-point favorites at home.
Woo! Okay, and I think one reason for that just maybe the second-year quarterback, Sam Ehlinger. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's either Ehlinger or Ehlinger. Is playing. And I'm going to say this. He has that year of experience of being a backup. Well, Jonathan Taylor and Wentz were going at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think he's going to be going back to that more Taylor-heavy outset, which is a good thing for this game because that defense isn't great against the run.
I'm really hoping so because Jonathan Taylor actually deserves to kind of be more of on a come up.
Dude, I want to see one more game. Just what's one game this year where I see like a 30-point Jonathan Taylor game in fantasy? A 30 or a 40-point, depending on the league you're in.
You could very well see it. But yeah, Matt Ryan out. Who? Heineke?
Heineke. No, wait.
No, yours, Sam.
Sam Ehlinger.
Ehlinger. That's it.
Ehlinger. I do apologize if I mispronounce your name, sir.
And meanwhile, Carson Wentz and the front office of Washington are bickering back and forth. So Carson Wentz is going to be a healthy scratch and sit down for this week's game. And that leaves Taylor Heineke, who came in last week. Against Green Bay and had himself a game.
You were just telling me, sir, that Mr. Heineke has a Predator-style collection of trophies.
He does. After every win, Taylor Heineke will go out and buy a brand new pair of Jordans that is the color of the team that they beat.
That's just so sadistic.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. I mean, I just imagine this wall of like Jordans mounted on like a deer, where a deer head would be, like on a big plaque, and like relaxing with a cigar and a whiskey. Just going, that was 2017.
Oh, you have to imagine that he immediately put those Green Bay ones in a glass case. And it was just like, I'm going to tell my grandkids about the time that I beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau.
Face to face, hand to hand. It was rough.
It really was. And you know what? This game is probably going to be really rough.
Yeah, both teams not great this year, but I think Ehlinger is going to give the edge.
Yeah.
He's got that experience with Taylor from last year. So, I think it's just it'll be good for the Colts to win by like like 5 or 7. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Washington on the come up. They've had 2 wins back to back against Chicago and Green Bay. The Colts on paper should not be a better team than Green Bay. And if Washington beat Green Bay, then you would figure that Washington would beat the Colts. However,
We'll see.
That-
we'll just see.
I don't think that's going to happen. I am going Colts. Give me them 3 points.
Colts. Oh my goodness, would you look at those San Francisco 49ers heading on to Los Angeles to face those Rams.
Oh my gosh.
I think I may have my signature intro there.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, would you look at that? Just look at it.
Just look at that.
Okay, so to be fair,
Oh, that's copyright infringement.
I did not say it in a specific way. So to be fair,
Okay.
after some defensive setbacks, the 49ers were pretty much stomped by the Chiefs. There is a good reason for that. Chiefs were on point, 100%.
And they will be the rest of the season.
However, I don't think the same holes in that defense are going to have the same effect in this game against the Rams.
Oh.
I just don't.
Oh, no.
I just don't.
No.
Not to mention, we've got a giving away turnovers MVP candidate heading the other team in quarterback, that Matthew Stafford, who's got, I believe, 8.
I love Matthew Stafford. Yeah,
He's 8 for 8.
he is.
Or 8 for 7, actually.
He's got 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Yeah. 8 interceptions for 7 games.
For 7 games. And now Los Angeles can feel how Detroit felt.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't have imagined a world where I was dropping a Super Bowl winning quarterback like from the last year off of my bench because he was doing so bad. And then I picked up Geno Smith.
oh yeah,
I mean, he's doing way better.
good call. Yeah, as far as fantasy numbers are going, and keeps the ball, in the same team's possession rather than the other ones.
We're talking about a Rams team that struck lightning last year.
I think that was all written up too. I mean, you've got
Really?
specific playbooks schemes for that, and I think the coaching was just there. They had
Yeah,
Stafford.
no, they struck lightning with every single component. Yeah, and it worked beautifully. And then this year they came back to like, well, let's do it again. And then the universe was like, no, you got one.
Yeah,
It's like Spider-Man and Family Guy. Everybody gets one, but only one.
I mean, heck, you might see Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I mean, you may see him retire at the end of the season. To be honest,
I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
we will see what happens there. But both these teams have 3 wins. I'm going to stay as far away from this one as possible. I'm going to take my eraser.
Yeah, good choice, man. I should have done that.
If I absolutely had to choose with a gun to my head, I would probably, even though I love Matthew Stafford to death, I got jerseys of his in my closet. Jimmy G and the Niners are just doing way better right now.
Niners.
Up next on the docket, we've got Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes is taking his briefcase and all of his cohorts with the Giants, and they are traveling to Seattle, where it's cold and rainy and nasty, to take on the Seahawks. They are 3-point favorites at home.
That's right. And you know what? It's because you're Nicky Nichols or whatever his name is.
Excuse me, sir. That's
He's just not as good as Geno Smith.
Daniel Jones to you.
Okay. Quigley Cordes,
Sure.
Davy Dollars.
He makes them, Danny Dimes turns them into Danny Dollars is what he does. They're 6-1.
All right.
6-1
Hey, yeah,
on the year.
they are 6-1. They are good. But look, I mean, last week they faced a Jaguars that were not exactly putting forth that high caliber performance they were earlier in the season.
They're another team that I just wonder what happened from the past, first 3 weeks to the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, but the Giants did win that game, but they did it. It was a very hard fought win. I mean, it was just a slog.
Yeah.
And that also tells me that maybe the Giants are dragging a little bit on offense.
Well, the teams are getting tired. I mean, they're getting closer to their buys, and the longer out their buy is, I mean, both these teams haven't had their buy yet, so you're gonna be
Right.
You're gonna be seeing a deflated team. But I'm gonna say Geno Smith is doing a fairly good job.
4-3. He's got Kenneth Walker absolutely killing it. On the other hand, Saquon Barkley is being Saquon Barkley and absolutely killing it.
That's why Danny Dimes is Danny Dimes,
because he's got Saquon Barkley.
Exactly, and Saquon Barkley looks like he did 2 years ago.
That's right. And hey, man, that's nothing to squawk about. But I just think that they're worn down enough to where Geno Smith is starting to warm up enough to put that 2 on their loss record.
Nah, you make a call to Uncle Frankie. You tell him you're going to put the bet on the Giants. You're going to take the points. You're going to go +3. You might make a little teaser here and there, a little bit of same-game parlay, whatever you need to do with Uncle Frankie, because you know he's got you. But Danny Dimes and the New York Giants are making this game happen.
Nah, I got the Seahawks by at least 2 field goals or a touchdown. And I'm going to use my picks boost just to make sure I'm right. On pickamores.com. Know your power-ups.
Do you really think you know who's going to win? Well, on a double down for spread, have your favorite pick count twice. However, if you lose, it'll hurt you double.
Hey, friend. Guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the last game of the Pickamores.com Pickamores podcast analysis by Corey and Luke and Corey.
Oh, okay.
We've got the Green Bay Packers going to Buffalo. Kind of sounds like a death march, honestly. To face the Bills, who are favored -10, and no doubt about it, absolutely justified in that -10. Josh Allen is looking at this as if it is the most fantastic buffet he's ever set eyes upon.
Oh, I'm just telling you that Buffalo's defense right now, if they're on Saturday night, it's going to be like their Christmas Eve. They're all going to be in their PJs in the hotel room, just like, I can't sleep. Can you? No, I'm too excited about tomorrow.
It's going to be rough.
Holy cow. Look, I'm not sure what the whole stat was, but I do believe the stat came around that Aaron Rodgers has been sacked by NFL teams more this year than he has in his entire career.
Yeah, it's a bad thing to look at the stats for Aaron Rodgers this season. Like, if you're a fan, just don't do it. Just save yourself the problems. And it's...
I mean, he's still doing better than most of the quarterbacks that we've seen, in these previous games, and most of the quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, he's got 11 touchdowns on the season.
Look, if overnight he could develop a solid run game and stop relying so much on the passing, he might be able to get within 10 against Josh Allen.
Exactly, because Josh Allen is out here slinging it to the tune of 17 touchdowns this season.
But unless, like, Devontae Adams just, like, in a coup, just goes back real quick and, like, by the way, I'm here.
Man.
Like, there's just no prayer.
And everybody talks about it. And, like Aaron Jones, he's got a good run game.
Jones is good, yeah.
He's been doing all right, but he's only got a touchdown to show for it this season.
Jones is only as good as the team around him, and the team around him is lackluster this year.
Yeah, and I mean, Lazard is proving that he is a better blocking tight end than he is a wide receiver.
Look, Green Bay just lost to the Commanders. The Lions didn't lose to the Commanders, okay? The Lions did not.
Oh, see, you're pulling out you're pulling out low blows. That's the brass knuckles out of the tights.
Sometimes when you're talking about Detroit Rock City, you're talking brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles, baby. This is going to be a brass knuckle fight, too.
No,
Buffalo's just going to be like, check this out real quick.
10? How about all the speculators that did 20? How about you double those odds?
Right?
Right, let's do that.
That is all Buffalo all day.
Well, folks, that does it for the Pick'em podcast this week. We just went through all of the 12 games on pick'emores.com that you can pick from and win that free money. Go get it.
How?
By going to pick'emores.com, putting in your email address, and then just start making your picks.
Oh, my
on
gosh.
NFL, college football, NBA. When it's around MLB, it's a good time. It's free money, and I mean, it's barely 10 minutes of your day.
Yeah, but what if I need analysis or analytics? Like, what if I'm dumb? I don't know how to do this, man.
Well, dude, if you need analysis, just listen to the show you're listening to right now. The Pick'emores podcast. Go ahead and go to Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I don't know, Stitcher's one of them.
Oh,
for
okay.
Sure. You can also find us on YouTube. Even we're putting out the show with just some visual images and whatnot.
Oh, man.
But you can just put it on the background, listen to it. You know what? Do you know where they can find us otherwise?
Well, you know what? I was actually going to check out their social media network because they are on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And there's also a separate Facebook group called the Pick'em Warriors. And those guys, I mean, they're talking sports all day. And so all I got to do is go over there while I'm listening to the show. I run down what's going on over in the social meds, social meds, as the kids say. And I got my analysis and I know what to do. And so I can go in there, make my picks, do my thing, and, win a pocket full of cash.
Oh, yeah. So the last couple of weeks, we flip-flopped. Like, I had like a 60-70% average or 70% pick. Well, last week, you had about the same this week.
Yep.
And so, hey, tune in every single week to find out who is doing better.
I'm just saying, man, follow or fade. It doesn't matter. But as always, you need to remember this. If you remember nothing else in this world, remember, make your picks.